Okay, I'm back again. This is Sandy, part 2 of my neutralizing this kit. The green really came out nice. Everything looks a lot lighter than it did.
Good.
I do like, I'm talking to the video silly. I do like the fact that it got lighter. And this one's, I did do 3 more coats. And I really see a lot of peach in the ears, and I'm going to leave it though. I think it's light enough. Also, I went over, I could do that again. I went over this kit with another neutralizer. It says it's for yellow vinyl, and it's from Ultimate Fusion. There's really no color in here, but it's made for neutralizing, and they always write it on for me. Tom, can you come and see if the video's showing the stuff I'm holding in my hand real quick on the top?
That's how it's showing a lot of you.
No, just make sure it's zooming in here because I'm recording. Is it zooming in on this? Can you see this in center?
It's about from this point of your arm up.
So you can see it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, so I did a coat of that on here already. In addition to the green, I really had some problems right here with that green getting sticky and weird on me, and I don't know if it's old or what. But I rubbed it off. I'm not gonna do the head. I might just go, it's really smooth by the time I cleaned it off, but I don't know how clean I can get this. I'll work on this off film. I've already wiped it down. There's nothing rough on it, but it's, you know, I don't want it to be a boo-boo kit. This is an expensive kit. So I'm going to see if I can fix these spots that I wiped off. If I can't, I'm going to, since it's only like a couple of light washes, I'm going to wipe it back off and start again. And then I'm not going to show that on the video. But today, again, I'm going to show you, we got a lot of green on here still. I'm going to show you a coat of the violet for yellow vinyl. And I think it won't hurt it to use another coat of this. I think it'll look pretty too. But we will eventually get to something like this when we start adding the skin tones. And when you add the skin tones, you can definitely add colors with it. So again, these glass bowls work really good. I stack. This is a different bowl, but the little ones I actually stack. So I had alcohol in here for quick wipe offs. I have water in here, distilled water, again, my distilled water. I'll go a little quicker since it's part 2. And these are 2 different bowls, but what I do is when I'm working on these colors, I do mix them up in here, and then when I'm painting, I just don't let the air get to it. These air dry paints you can't let sit out like you can the Genesis oils. I mean, you really, it makes a lot of sense to do this and not have to deal with keep adding open time to it. So this is my lid for this because I don't want to put the plastic lid on, not while I'm painting. Okay, so I have a little left from when I was working on it past part 1. I decided to play with it a little bit more. So actually that looks like a blue. You know what? I added the blue one, and then I was going to add this violet one. I think that's what I was going to do. I'm going to turn this off a second. I'll be right back. I'm going to go. I think I might just go ahead and do this one because I did the blue. I think I'll move on. Cover that up for a second. Again, remember I did the minty green. You see how that's really holding up well since it's got a lid on it with this bowl. and it's ready to go. It's so much easier than before. I had to wipe them out every time. Just bam, ready to go. Okay, so let's try, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do this one. You can always go back and do those coats of those again if you think it needs it, but now I think it has a lot of yellow, and this one especially. So I think what I'll do is Ellie. And okay, so what I did was I went over and got one of my rooting needles and I poked it in there, and it just popped, the pressure just popped it right open. Again, you're gonna wanna clean that off right away with a little alcohol. These little things I got on Temu, they're little blue wipey cloths, kind of like paper, only stronger. Put a little alcohol on that and it comes right off. I'll have a video on rooting eventually. It's much better than my Everly I did the first dial. It takes practice, and definitely you got to read up on it. So I was just going to show you something I got for when I do the eyelashes. One of the tricks to doing the eyelashes after you put them in, we'll get to rooting some other time, but is this clear, transparent eye mascara. So I went and got some e.l.f., not very expensive, Walmart, Target. You can get e.l.f. Mascara that's transparent. So I went ahead and got some of that because I've got some rooting I do at the other end of this table, and it helps the eyelash to stay up, because when you put them in, you can go upside down, but it gets kind of a bad angle. So when you're working with those mohairs, they're not necessarily wanting to curl for you, and it helps to have a little of this transparent mascara. Okay, so this did come open easily, just with a little dry, so again, it doesn't want to come out. 1, 2, 3. I hope my paint's not getting old. It's this Ultra Fusion. It's either there's just, I have no way to use that much. I might have to cut it open. It's interesting. Sometimes most of the work is trying to get your paints to come out. There. Now I squirted quite a bit in there, messing with it dry. I stuck it in just a little bit further. I'm wearing gloves today because of that problem I had on part 1 film with the green, and I'm not sure why that happened. I've been painting for a year and a half, and I've never had the paint excuse me, the paint absorb like that into the vinyl off of my hands. I mean, it just was soaking it right off my fingernails. I couldn't get it out of my fingernails. It was just soaking it right off of me, and going right on the dial. And that's why I have these marks, is because it just went into it, and I try to wipe it off and it wouldn't. It just soaked right in. I'm not sure, but I'd like to know if somebody could tell me, is that from old paint? You know, and it was the Reborn FX, so I'm going to put some open time in this. 1, 2, 3, just because I like to not have to worry about hurrying up. And this is my veining, the light vein. This is a real old one, my very beginning one. I have more, but I thought I'd see if I could still use that. I'm going to go to veining after I get this calmed down a bit. I can always fix this late blending with the skin tones too. Okay, so again, what we really want to do is dilute this out. So the Reborn FX dilute, paint dilute, off of part 1 video I did. Again, I'm going a little quicker because I've already been through an hour of this with you guys, and I hope you were able to get to it. I put it on just today. They like to really dry up, don't they? Lost my lost my needle. I hope it didn't roll on the floor. There it is. If it rolled on the floor, my dogs get it. I do have dogs, but it's 5 pounds. I don't know why this isn't coming out. 5-pound Yorkie. Probably sleeping right below me. When I move the video, one of these days, I do have a video where I recorded the dog and the cat and all these cute little animals. That's why I have paper and towels over everything. And I have 3 air filters going. Make sure nothing gets in the air and floats around. I can't stand the little fibers getting caught up. And again, I use a brush to stir it with. It's more of a polyester nylon fiber, straight edge. I like that. I kind of had an idea how much to squirt in here. You guys might want to start out counting by 10s of the dilute. I kind of had an idea that I wanted close to just a big squirt of it because I've been doing it for a while. That's pretty liquidy, pretty clear. It might be too clear. I'm going to give it one more squirt. Again, I buy these and they are the Ultimate Fusion, and they are for neutralizing kits. Just a little bit more to thicken it up just a hair. Yeah, I can tell it's thicker. May not be thick enough still. Kind of runny there. But that's okay. Again, it's just a wash. Okay, so part 2 of the neutralizing is going to be, excuse me, I'm going to use, I've put blue on here since I was here. Part 1, I did another yellow coat. Then I did kind of a soft blue coat, sort of a purple blue coat. Very light. Now I'm going to do Ultra Fusion. These are all a kit. There's like 4 or 5 of these. Now I'm going to do the one that's for yellow. It's a little yellow at this time. So I'm going to do yellow again. So I'm going to add a little purple to it. Been outside. I think allergies are getting me from walking outside. It's a beautiful day here in Florida. Beautiful evening. It's 5:30 going on 6, and absolutely gorgeous, around 80 degrees. Looks like I have 2 that are pre-made. I usually pre-make a whole bowl of these, and then I tear some out for the modeling. And lately I've just been throwing them away. Some of these, when they're less expensive ones and not as dense, they fall apart pretty easy and you get white bumps on your paint. It's no fun either. And again, I keep everything closed for Lent. I don't had too many of them that I've redone because of Lent. Okay, so I'm going to take this baby, Ellie's leg, and I'm going to start on I think I'll start on the foot. There's enough on this one from stirring for the foot. And I'm just going to wipe it on with this straight edge here. Very inexpensive brush. And blot it off a little. You know, it's always a good thing to think about breathing when you do this and relaxing, because I know sometimes we don't. I especially don't. Start holding my breath or something, and you got to relax and just let it flow. And if you get tense, it's not going to happen any better anyway. So just taking a nice big breath and relax. And again, we want to take this paint and we want to, I think now I will start from up here because I want it to flow back down in there. And it's, you can see there's quite a bit on this brush, probably too much, but it's a wash. Go fast. These air ones, you do have to go faster than Genesis. Keep in mind, Genesis, it doesn't dry as fast as these air ones do. It's a little different, and they don't wipe off like Genesis does. I've never used it, but I've watched enough videos to know that. I'm glad I didn't use them because they discontinued them, and I would have been at a loss like everybody else that has to rush and figure out how to use these air dry ones. But you'll get used to the feel. Like these washes are old, you know, a lot less pigment. You don't use a whole lot. You can kind of see how it moves in here. It's not like water, but I'm going to take a big fuzzy because it's such a big leg and I want to get it blended because it's already drying. I don't have as much moisture in the air today as I did in part one. Got the windows open a little bit. It's beautiful out. I was just sitting out there. I was going to fall asleep. So nice. Temperature's just perfect. No sweater needed, nothing. And one thing great about living in the Villages, Florida, I don't know, some people I've heard say it rains too much, but I came from Iowa, so I don't agree. We got a lot of rain in Iowa. That's why we have corn. Okay, so that is blended very well. I don't know why that green gave me so many problems. I can still see some of the green on the toes. It'll be all right because it's going to come through. I mean, this is still just way at the base. Now, this one really, really came on dark. I don't know. I must have put it on a little thicker. You can see the green in the hand if you look in there. I can see it. Now, you shouldn't really have to see it like that, but I'm going to consider that some of my shadowing. So when I shadow, I just will shadow a little less. I'm still putting this on everything because these are just the washes. And I'm just going to kind of fluff it off a little bit with one of these big fluffy brushes. I don't even know what they call these. This is the round goat on it. It's baby strokes. You can get these on Sandy's dolls. So what is that? Sandy's Reborn dolls or Sandy's babies, something like that. If you want, I do have a list of places you can order things from and specific things. So just ask. I'll put it in a video or I'll find a way to get it on. I spent almost all day, hours and yesterday trying to learn YouTube. So I didn't know that this was going to be a YouTube learning fun I was going to have with dolls. I thought it was going to be a hobby, and it's ended up being a job. I work 8, 9, 10 hours a day, even the weekends, because I just can't quit. I just want to keep going. But I mean, because I'm learning so many neat things and I'm not young, that I'm loving it. You know, you sit around at 67 years old and you're like, now what? Well, this gave me meaning and purpose and I'm loving it. I want to get up. I want to do this. I got something I got to do besides walk the dogs and play with the dogs. Now I do have something. I do like to work out, but I do like to golf. I golf. I'll be golfing tomorrow morning. But this has ended up being more of a full-time job. These dolls do take a lot more time than you think. When someone's going to purchase one of these, they usually ask, well, why are they so expensive? We put in over 100 hours on these dolls if we're rooting them. I mean, when I started rooting, I was taking, oh God, 2-3 weeks to root a doll, and you know, because there was a learning process. But now it still takes about 40 hours to root a doll. I do one hair at a time though, and I don't really like, I'm picky, I don't like 2 at a time, but it happens with the 42G crown needle. You can get all kinds of different needles. You can explore with that a little bit on a doll head. I just like this to go on and spread where I don't see dry spots or streaks. But again, you gotta go fast, because I can already see, we got air moving in the house too, but I can already see dry spots, and I haven't even gotten to the part where I've covered the entire doll. You make sure you go across these creases, like these real deep creases. All of a sudden you're 3 layers in and you're like, well, what happened? I can see, I don't know if you can, but I can already see the streaks, so I'm gonna cross them. I don't like them to dry with streaks, but it can happen. Real soft, spread it around, make sure there's no puddles. You don't have to keep wiping over it though. There's going to be a lot of layers and then texturing and stuff like that going on later. As long as you get the puddles off, don't overwork it. And that looks good. I should have put on my specs, my overhead glasses. I forgot to do that. Okay. This is what I usually wear. This is how I don't have the light lit. The battery went out, but this is what I have to wear to make sure there's not any lint stuck on there before I started, because you can't see it, especially if you need strong glasses like me. I can't see all those little hairs, and it's annoying when you paint over it and then you can't get it out. So I would always suggest when you're cover that up, when you're looking over a doll, before you add another layer, you want to make sure if there's a piece of hair, it will drive you crazy because you'll be able to see it. Now that is a piece of hair that just happened to flutter in here and it got stuck. You'll be able to see it for layers, and it'll drive you crazy because then it'll be stuck way under there, and then you have to decide, are you going to try to get it out, it's bugging you, or are you just gonna keep going because it's not that big a deal, or what, you know? That's a speck of paint from touching probably here, and it just picks it up, and you have to deal with it right away. You just have to. I have alcohol under here, and I have these little sticks. I'm not sure where I got these. It could have been Temu, but that picked it right up. A little teeny piece of aqua. And you don't want a little dot of paint. You don't want any little fibers. It'll drive you nuts about 5 layers in going, why didn't I see that? So definitely would drive me up a wall. It's an old saying, up a wall. I don't know what that means. Okay, so cover up the alcohol. get back to the paint, and we are going to stir it around. It's still pretty thin, so I'm going to wipe most of it off and just get this hand. Sad thing is I'm going to have to finish that head because it did have some spots I had to get off of it from that green sticking. Boy, what a pain. Detail work. Yeah, it was pretty wet, so I'm going to dab it off instead of just spreading it. And you want to get between the fingers. And the fingernails. I love doing the fingernails. I just love painting the fingernails. I'm still trying to get really good at making those moons. Now, Custom Doll Babies has a really great video on how to make the moons and mix the colors. You get that purple at the bottom, then you move it up a little bit halfway, and then the red, move that down, and all these instructions, and I was like overwhelmed, but I can get my nails to look pretty without all that, but I'm going to try it again. I'm not giving up. That's what I like about this. There's so many things to learn. So basically the same thing as Genesis when you think of a side of a brush. Well, when I wipe that side off, I'm just keeping one side of a brush because this arm is pretty big. I see a blob of green. I'm going to wipe it right off. I don't know where that came from. It must have come from touching the table. That's why I usually lay my brushes up on something. You need to get somehow in a habit of where you put things and how you lay them, because if you don't, you sit here and you go, what the heck, where's this, where's that, and I end up running around looking for everything, where'd I lay it, what I do, and before you know it, the paint dried. So I don't know, and I can see something right there from where I've been wiping is already drying, and I came up with a brush and it's stuck on the brush. So you got to really watch what your brush touches and how long everything's been on the arm before you start wiping things off. I'm going to wet this. I didn't do that. Distilled water. And I'm going to just pounce around. Oh, there already had a purple piece on this because I laid it down here. And usually I don't. Lay them in there. That's what I mean. You need a routine. And I never worked on this end of the table. I was setting up the videos, which I just started doing, was videos. It's running down the arm, so that purple is probably going to be real strong. I didn't see, I had a run coming down it. I didn't see that. It gets too dark when it's a little run, water and paint coming down it, and then it gets darker. So you got to blend that out as soon as you can. It catches real fast with these air dry paints. A lot of people have talked about a different kind of paint, that golden, goodness, I think y'all know what I mean. You get it at Michael's. I wouldn't mind knowing more about that. I mean, I don't know how it works, how it feels, or anything compared to these Reborn FXs. But as you can see, I went through that out really fast with that coat. I'm going to continue with this little one. But the arms over here, the arms are so little, I had to use paintbrushes to stick them on. I don't have anything. If you guys know about anything that would fit these little arms, so I just did this and stuck it in my glass holder. Okay, this will be pretty fast. So, where's that brush? Can't see with my close-ups on. Okay, so this is a real small dowel. Wipe one side off. And wipe the other side off just softly. I always start from the back of the head, like most people I've seen do, because that's how they told me to do it. They don't know they taught me. I listened. Okay, so I like this color. You know, you can't really tell what's going on. That's how you want it to look. You want it to look just beautiful without shiny. Oh, I love that. Without any streaks and dry spots. And wow, that just went on gorgeous. Oh, right here, dry. Ding, 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 ding. I can see a little fiber in there, but it's on the head. I can already see all the dry spots coming. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of wipe it off, you know, dab, slide and around these crease spots. You can always go over it again with a real tiny brush. I do have smaller brushes that I have all around me, and I have a glass full of them. I'll just lay them all around me, different sizes, then I just pick out of them. I don't think I need to do much to this head. It looks pretty. It's really pretty. Again, you can see lint when this laid overnight, and I can see the little lint fibers, and you really want to get those off. So when this dries, I'm going to take my rubber glove. Forgot to cover this particular dowel for a while this morning, and I had the doors open, and we have what we call lanais here, and the air comes through, and so does the lint, because there's construction down the road, and it's about a mile now, but it doesn't matter. They're always stirring up something. Yeah, it did get some lint. It's got a little piece of green paint, again, that nasty green paint. I'm gonna throw it away. I don't know what's the matter with it. Back to the alcohol. Don't want to let that alcohol soak on there. Water, dab, and this works, these little sticks. I love these little sticks. Man, you are the... This is the hardest kit I've ever done. It's got little hair fibers. Why are you always being naughty? It's just one of those kits that I just can't get past the problems. So when you're fixing little issues, see, usually when we show a video, you don't see this. I'm gonna just let you see it, because it's not that easy as you think. There's going to be problems, there's going to be aggravations, there's going to be stress and issues. And just little things like this come up where the paint isn't quite right and you don't know why. And it just doesn't want to work. I shouldn't put these close-up glasses on, and I wouldn't notice all these little things that most people wouldn't even see. But okay, so since this dowel has a little tiny little mouth, I'm going to dab some of this in there, and I'm going to get it in the nose. There's nothing worse than the colors just not happening right there where you want the colors to be, and you got a nose that turns out black or some weird color because you didn't get the colors all in there. And cute little detail for a little dowel. It even has a little blister lip. What was her? This is by Climber Creations. And I'm not sure if they even have this anymore. I just don't get to them. She really did a lot of veining and a lot of modeling on this style. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to make it even look alive because they're so small. These little green things, I swear there's green paint flying in the air. That's what I swear. And I should probably turn the filter off. But these glasses show everything, so it doesn't matter. The paint's dried enough where I can pick at it. But I'm going to give her red hair. I'm not going to give her pretty blonde hair, I don't think at all. I think I'm going to give her red hair, but we'll see. I might go a little bit out there with this style since it's so little and different. It definitely, I'm going to have to sell her real cheap anyway, or go around the villages and practically give her to a little girl, because the ears have little issues in here, like little holes, and I've cleaned her off 3 times. She's been an issue doll for me, trying to make her look cute, and it's kind of hard. But again, I'm not understanding. It's got to be in the air. I didn't think it was windy out. I'm not understanding these little white fibers that I'm getting everywhere. Could be from the paper towels. But you can tell I'm really fighting this style. It's got a cute little crease right here on its forehead. It's just little details that I just think are precious. I'm working on her mainly because she's just been such a pest. I want to see if I can get her done. She's going to be a tough one. I think I'll just make sure that I do a lot of texture on her when I'm done, so you can't see some of the problems I've had, and then I'm going to give her to a little girl or something. But again, this is still, look how orange this is, and peachy orange this is still compared to Ellie. Ellie's had more green put on and more blue and more layers of this neutralizing colors. I mean, don't be afraid to just keep adding colors if it doesn't look right. And then you get to a point where you can take your color chart, your color wheel, and match up the color to your doll, and then let's say this color here is pretty close in between here. You go opposite, again it's these blue purples that they say to use to neutralize it. So just keep going until you get what you want. Go opposite the color of your vinyl to neutralize your kit. This is the most important part. You don't get this right, you're not going to get anything right. It's your beginning, it's your foundation, it's the undercoat before the flesh colors go on. So these are the coats that are important, and sometimes make them extra beautiful. Like I did Summer Rain. I have her here still. She's been ready to sell, but nobody knows who I am, so I got to get more videos out there so people can find out. My dolls are beautiful. They're guaranteed. You can send them back to me, and I will fully refund you, because I will guarantee you will love them. If you don't, you get your full money back. I pay for the shipping. I pay for anything that has to do with me getting the doll to you, and then I will fully refund you if you're not happy after I receive the doll back. I must be touching the doll on the paper. So I guarantee my work, and that means when I do that, I'm going to go have to turn the air filter off, because we're getting fibers blowing around. I'll have to come over here and check it in another 10 minutes Once that dries, it's pain. Okay, so I got 2 legs in the head purpled, and I still could probably go again. It's still, look how peachy this kid is. It's up to you. You want to use the peaches or the pumpkin colors. This starting point isn't too bad. It's already kind of cute. It's like, it's got its little colors already. That's what I'll probably do. The little arms are needing to be done. These little fingernails, I had them perfect and I had to wipe them off. It was kind of sad. I had the little white lines and all the little fingers. It's so cute. I do try to make them look natural. Sometimes I get the pink a little too dark and leave it, but it's never really, I don't really overdo the colors. I've added colors because I just wanted to before. I try to make my dolls different. I do have Pickle. I haven't done Pickle yet. I have some dolls I do want to do an ethnic color. I want to learn to do that. God, I forget Kate's full name, but she's got a book out there for ethnic painting, and that's gonna look, that looks like fun because the undercolors are going to be light, especially around the front of the face, and then the darker colors kind of work out, kind of like how you do makeup. If you know how to put on makeup and shadowing of your face, and how you make your neck kind of disappear when it sags like mine. You put darker shadows under your chin, things like that. Well, that's kind of how the colors work on the brachial dowels, and can't wait to try it. I'm going to go light before I go dark, but I'm going to make the first one kind of light. I think she or he will be beautiful because I found some really cool mohair at some Slumberland and another Baby Locks or something. It's real curly. I can't wait to see. I think I still have some problems from before that are still here I didn't get off. No wonder I can't sell you. You're a naughty doll. Okay, so you know, just for practice, if you've messed up a doll and you have to clean it up and it still looks like you couldn't get everything off, and you've just spent so many hours on trying to clean it and you've had it, go ahead and do it anyway. That's what I'm going to do, because I do need, sometimes I need to remind myself what I need to do. And I get caught up in rooting for weeks, and then I forget what I did over here. Where'd it go? Hiding. Yeah, I can root and root and root and root, and all of a sudden I'm like, man, I need to get back to painting, and I never get anything done. So I decided to do Teddy, one of the dolls that have just come out with McPherson's. I believe it's a McPherson style. I decided to do Teddy with no hair and lower the price, because I can't see selling some of these dolls for the prices I'm seeing online. I spend that much. I spend over $550 to make a doll when I add my time in there for rooting. And it's like, if you want me to root a doll, I will. And I'm going to charge at least $250, because it's a lot of time and money. The hair I get's like, you know, you're going to spend $65 to $100 just to do a doll. Then you're going to root it, and before you know it, the doll went up $500–600, and you don't know why I'm charging $1,300 for Joseph. And I'm like, everybody else is charging $575 or something, and I'm like, wow. And then I look at it, I'm like, well, their Joseph doesn't have the glass German eyes. That's $60. They don't have that expensive, light, beautiful blonde hair. That's another $60. You know, so every little thing you add brings the price up. So I'm going to start not, I wouldn't mind learning how to draw them. It's harder than I thought it was. I do Zentangle. I've drawn hair, but man, try those pencils. It's not as easy as I thought, but if I get a clean head and varnish it first, I think I'll be able to do it. So you're going to want to use blues and greens and purples. You want to get these Ultimate Fusion wash colors that they sell. They're light, they're soft, they're beautiful colors when they come out. You can now go on to skin colors, whatever you want your tone to be with a flesh color. You know, I usually start out with flesh 7 or the real pinkish reddish kind of baby flesh on the very next first layer. Then the layer after that you can add like 7 with a little red, Genesis red, and the Reborn FX paints. But again, I can do more videos because I'm a little slow when these videos get long. But this is starting to really come out beautiful. It's lightening up. I'm going to do another layer of this purple. I still want to get off some more of that orangey color. I might even do a yellow and white on it. Don't be afraid to try that, but you can kind of get the idea of what I'm saying. Is use your color wheel. This color wheel, I believe we're almost at I might not add yellow. It's kind of yellow. I'd say it's still pretty close to this orangish flavor still. So when you see it's the second spot down on the color wheel, you want to go straight across and see the color that will neutralize it, which will be sort of a purple blue. So I'm going to find a darker purple blue to neutralize this a little faster than this violet is doing. And it'll still be just as soft, just as beautiful, and a little darker and blue color. So you kind of have the idea. If you need more information or you'd like me to go through this again from start to finish, I can do that. But I think I've shown you in 2 videos how to neutralize your baby, and it's not really that hard using the color wheel, but the techniques and the brushes and the mixing is the hard part. A Reborn Baby by Sandra.etsy.com. I'm also on Facebook, Sandra.lee.s.reborn.doll, Sandra Grellwells at gmail.com. And then the name of my store, which I've registered here in the Villages, is Sandra Lee's Reborn Dolls. This is my card. I thought it was kind of cute. If you haven't heard of Vistaprint, Vistaprint lets you make these cards yourself. And if you're having a hard time, you just call them, you just chat them, and they will help you out. I made these logos on some magnets on the sides of my car. Turned out so cute. They helped me design a better one, but it's the gist of it is this. And again, the Villages, Florida is where I'm out of. So Reborn Baby by Sandra.etsy.com. I only have a few dolls on there. Okay, here's Teddy. I'll give you an example of my work. Teddy, I wanted to make a lot of kind of dry skin around here. The details, the, where are you? Yeah, see, lint it's been varnished, so nothing will stay on him. But Teddy's beautiful. I need to varnish his eyelashes, but I put in his eyelashes. He has capillaries, if you can see the capillaries here. And his veining is beautiful. Every time I do a doll, I do a little better. You can see little things on here. I wish I could put these glasses on, then I can see all these little teeny things. capillaries in his, I'm going to put magnets in him. I just ordered some new ones. They weren't strong enough because his lips came out so far. I couldn't get the little magnets to hold on his mouth, so I took it out. Got new magnets. I'm going to glue those in tonight. And I used Mod Podge. Don't try that. Mod Podge didn't work, and the magnets don't really like it. But you can see the beautiful veining and the color of him. He's got his cute little baby fingers. Look at his little fingers. He's so cute. And then his fingernails. He's got little moons, and his color is really pretty. He has these little feetsies. Little feet. Yeah, that's one of the newer dolls out there. Teddy, little feet. He's so cute and cuddly. I packaged him up really. He's not real light. He's at least 5 pounds. He's got a squishy little butt. Get my Teddy roll over here. Poor Teddy. Poor Teddy. He's a little cutie pie. He'll be going up on the Etsy site. I've got some gorgeous clothes. I make a beautiful box opening, and I kind of wet his lips up, and I just think he's gorgeous. I really am going to have a hard time giving him up. I got to find another Teddy. I really like him. See if there's any more left. Absolutely cute. His little red pinky hands. And we'll weight his head so it... Usually young babies, I think, are supposed to drop their heads more forward, but for some reason people like it when their heads fall back. He's real squishy, but not too light. Anyway, that's Teddy, and that's my latest work, just showing you that they do come out beautiful compared to what you're seeing here. It's hard to imagine it starts out this way, isn't it? But they do. And look how pretty he ended up. He wasn't real orangey either, but I neutralized him, and you see it works, it turns out. So I will be signing off. This is Sandra Lee at Sandra Lee's Reborn Dolls, and I will talk to you again. Thanks for tuning in.